We can go live here.
Let people in?
Sure, Ron. Good morning. This is Wealth Principle 17. Wealth Principle 17 is offer high-ticket items or deal in high-volume sales or both. If you want to be successful, you've got to figure out a product. That's step one. Figure out a product. Step two is figure out, is this a high-volume item or is this a high-ticket item? Once you've identified it, treat it as such. Do not market a high-ticket item as a high-volume item. Does that make sense? Do not market a high-volume item as a high-ticket item. You'll go broke. There's a difference. Do not customer service a high-volume item as if it was a high-ticket item. You can't afford it. But do not service a high-ticket item as if it was a high-volume item. Because, again, you can't afford to do it that way either. Mike, go ahead.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Give me an example of a high-ticket item and a high.
Excellent. Excellent. So great question. A high-ticket item could be something like a house. Buying a house, what is the commission for a typical real estate agent? Anybody on here know? Where my agent's at?
6%, 5%.
Dollar amounts. What is a dollar amount?
20 grand.
20 grand if you're in Boston. If you're selling $500,000 houses, yes.
Go figure, stay home.
Right? Go figure, stay home. Well, like in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
the average sales price is $240.
Good point. One of the agents I'm friends with just sold a $4.5 million house in Narragansett yesterday.
That's a good sale. That's high end.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the only sales they'll do this year.
Exactly.
Because they're getting hit with all this cash and their mind says I'm good and they're gonna stop. Which
Gotta
you know
give
what?
her that book, Go for No.
Tell her go for no. It's not about making the money. Pummel it into Tesla. It might go up, it might go down.
Yeah,
Or just get rid of that cash.
I'm not giving financial advice on
No.
it. I'm excited about Tesla.
Go buy a Tesla, right?
Yeah.
That's again not giving that advice.
Next car.
Careful, Mike.
Yeah, right.
So that's a example of a high ticket item, right? Another high ticket item would be the Alchemist retreat, 4 days, $5,000, right? That is high ticket. I'm not going to market that to the masses. You've never even heard of that? Does that make sense? So that's a high ticket item. The customer service on that is completely different. You build deeper relationships. You go deeper in the marketing funnel. In fact, high ticket items start sometimes from high volume items. First, you filter by selling a cheaper product. We were just talking about this. So for everybody who was on the call earlier, all the mentorship members, give yourselves a round of applause for being on here still. Great stuff. Great conversation this morning. It's great to have all of you in here building our mastermind and making it better for the mentorship. Rip, I see you. You came in a little bit late. Next time you are here, 9:40, brother. You are a mentorship member. You could be here a little early with us. Same with you, Doug.
Trying to get it on my computer, not my phone. Yeah, you got to figure that out.
We see you popping in with 2 different devices. That's cool. Doug McGurk, the hypnotist. You got to hypnotize people to sell their high-ticket items today?
Is that what we need to do?
Either that or they're going to sell high-volume sales. So,
or dehypnotize them from telling the story that that's the only thing they can sell.
That's right.
Nice.
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the principles to hypnosis is that we're not actually hypnotizing you. We're just clearing out the garbage that's already in your head and allowing you to actually think your real true thoughts instead of whatever you believe is a real true thought, because it's not. None of this is real. You're just making it up as you go, which is a lot like this training, right? This training is all about high ticket items and high volume sales. How can you increase your income now? We're going to go through the process so you can treat them appropriately. There is a book of the week. Mike Schein is going to discuss it real quickly, Mike, unless you want to pass it along to Mitch Jaworski.
Well, it's Principles by Ray Dalio, and it's 600 pages, right? And full disclosure, I did not read it. So I'm passing it off to Mitch. If he takes himself off mute, he can give a quick spiel.
All I can add to Elon's wonderful explanation is that this is basically 3 books in one. That's what many people don't realize. There's a finance section, there's a life section. So, you can read the whole thing regardless, but you can really just check out the section that applies most or can, give you the most impact for the bang for your buck.
And I think Ray Dalio actually did the Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Doug, did you read this book?
Walter,
With my ears.
on that?
In my ears.
Good morning. Where's your video, brother?
Wander? Who we asking?
Glenn.
Yeah, sorry.
Where's the video?
Me anyways.
What were you saying?
I was just going to give my 2 cents. They have a dumbed down kiddie version of that book. It's like just basic, but it hits the points.
Is that what you're saying Mike Schein needs? He wants the dumbed down version?
It fits me perfect.
That's cool.
I love that.
But it's a
what
lot
is it?
simpler and it gets to the points. It's like a cliff note.
Yeah,
So that's why
I did that.
Excellent.
version.
Do a summary of it. But
Excellent. So the value behind this book is we're talking about the principles of business, the principles of wealth. He's a commodities trader. So he understands what people buy, why they buy, how they buy, who they are, and the moves and decisions that they're making. So when you decide, are you going to sell a high ticket item or a high volume item or both, you want to make it from a place of principles. You don't want to just randomly decide, I'm going to sell this, right? You have to know that there's a target audience out there. You have to know how they're thinking, why they're thinking, what they're doing, and understanding their true desire in what they're purchasing. Once you understand it, you can service them the right way. But by just saying, hey, I sell houses, that's half the equation. It's not the product that dictates your business. It's the customer that dictates your business. It's who you're working with and their behaviors that dictates how successful you're going to be. So I strongly suggest grabbing the book Principles by Ray Dalio. And the advice I gave Mike earlier is you don't have to read this one in a week. Read it every week.
right.
How do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So go a chapter a week with this book while you're fitting in the other books. Everything you read here will be relevant. Go ahead, Mike. Elon Musk, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm a vegan, so I'm not eating any elephants.
You know what? I have a mission, and Mike, this is probably offensive to any vegans on the call, but I have a mission to taste every meat on the planet.
No.
And I know, I apologize.
Of course,
Elephant is not on that menu.
Bats. Next to be eating bats.
So I will try bat after I'm pretty sure, I'm like certain it's not COVID, right? But
Yeah.
no, I've done a shark, like all sorts of different fun stuff, and it's fun. It's part
Human.
of my
Human.
pay a little more, the harder it is to get that meat, though, right? High quality sales. I'll tie everything back in. So, Mike, are those bitcoins, those Liberty Gold coins, those Liberty Gold?
Gold coins from Science of Getting Rich, right? They're not
There
going
you
to
go.
hold themselves.
If you haven't watched me and Mike's episodes of 100 Millionaires, you have to. Go check it out on iTunes. Go check it out for just the value that Mike is delivering in this podcast. It's just so much fun. We have a blast. And to learn more about what he does and how he's built his wealth, we follow completely different paths but came to the same result. We own real estate, and we keep buying it because it is two things. It's a high ticket item, and we also sell a high volume item. We sell rental. We go out there and we put people to work to go out and they do their thing and then they come back. But here's the interesting thing. Our high volume is still considered high ticket. It's the biggest expense that most people have. In fact, housing is about 40%, 40 to 50% of a person's income. And as a landlord, we're always looking to pick up people whose income is at least 30% of rent. Well, 3 times the amount of rent. So if their rent is 30%, they have to be earning 66% more. Does that make sense? So we sell their most expensive product every single month. So we're in high volume sales and high ticket sales because our biggest product is the product that we bought, the asset that we bought, the house that we paid hundreds of thousands for. So we're in high ticket acquisitions, high ticket sales. This is making sense?
Yep.
But we do it in volume, but you can't treat it as a volume product. We still have to have deep relationships with our clients, deep relationships with every one of our investors, right? So they're investors because they're investing in our business. They're living in the business, they're investing in the business. They fix the buildings for us, they clean up the buildings. So that's how we tie it into real estate. As an agent, you can do high volume sales, you can do rentals. As a wholesaler, you can do high volume sales. You can get those quick, easy flips, or you can go after the big $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 wholesale deals. As an investor, you can go for quick, easy flips, or you can go after the mamma jammas, the luxury buildings, the big multifamilies, the ones that Mike was just saying sell for $4 million. So there's different types of transactions within every business. We're gonna do an exercise. I'm gonna give you a couple more examples of high ticket items. Tesla, when Tesla started, when Elon Musk started Tesla, he had a vehicle called the Roadster. Ron, how much was the Roadster when it came out? You're the Tesla fanatic. What was the Roadster going for? What was it known for?
I'm not a fanatic, but I believe it came out for about $200,000 when it first came out.
$200,000. And how fast was it?
I don't know.
It was the fastest car.
No, it wasn't.
How close was it? Second, third, fourth, fifth?
I don't know. It was just it was the first electric hypercar, basically.
So Elon Musk started with a high ticket item. Started way out there, high ticket. And the whole purpose of the company was to get to high volume sales. But in the beginning, high volume is a very dirty, very difficult, very complex business. And so in order to get there in the vehicle industry, he had to start with high ticket, because high ticket is about relationships. When you're only one person, it's a lot easier to build high quality relationships than it is to build relationships with thousands of people. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So my advice is, unless you have a company that's already running and you're selling one of their products, you don't want to be in high volume sales. You want to be in high ticket sales. You want to be selling something that's extremely valuable, which means you have to improve yourself. You have to get to a point where you're extremely valuable. Your knowledge is extremely valuable. And in the beginning, maybe it does make sense to sell some high ticket items. So not some high ticket items, to sell high volume sales for somebody else who's built a system that allows you to run it through. Stephanie, I got you on here. You run a salon, a hair salon, right? What would you say you're in? Are you in high ticket sales or are you in high volume sales?
Before COVID, I was in a high volume sales. But
and what was my advice to you?
To put high ticket sales instead. High
what was the reason? What was the reason?
Well, because
many. What do you remember?
It's been a while, but it was because I guess it would just be better clientele, like better quality of clients, and also like you get less tired, you know, more money for less work.
There you go. You can scale fast.
Well, you also pare down some of the people who are more of a drain on your resources. So you remove a lot of people and you have more time, more energy to get more of those high ticket people. And so it's really about who are you serving, what is your purpose in serving them, and where are you bringing them to? Exactly. And so low ticket, I think really simply about restaurants. You have your high ticket restaurants, and then they're serving just a certain amount of people a night, and they're killing it because they have steaks for $60 to $120 a steak. Or you have a McDonald's that's serving hundreds of burgers. They're both making a lot of money. You just have two different models.
You're right.
Exactly right.
It takes the same amount of energy to earn 5,000 as it does 50,000 as it does 500,000.
This example is making sense. We're getting this so far. So Stephanie, when I met her, when we started talking about her business, she was doing haircuts, right? And she averaged $20 a haircut. And so I did the math for her real quick, finding out how many haircuts she could do in an hour. She can do about 2 to 3 haircuts in an hour. So realistically, she was making $40 to $60 an hour. I asked her what else she could make $60 an hour in that costs her less time. And she said that coloring, she can make about $100, but it takes about 2 hours. And I said, well, are you doing something the entire time? She said, no, most of it's waiting. Well, if most of it's waiting, can you do what's called in the industry double booking, where can you put 2-3 people in that same chair at the same amount of time? And the answer was yes, it was possible. And so she can, and $100 is the low end on color. She can go up as high as $200-300 for the same setting. And here's the deal: the client has to come back for round 2 and sometimes round 3, especially if you're going blonde. So what she used to do in the past was hold them there longer to try to get the chemicals to sit in longer. And I told her, does anybody else do that? She said, no, I do it for my customers because I care about them. Wrong. What you're doing is giving your customers a miserable experience, sitting them in the chair for 2 to 3 to 4 hours to get the color to set, instead of getting them in and out of your shop and bringing them back again, continuity, bringing them back again in 2 weeks or a week to continue the process. Pulling a little bit more cash, giving them a better experience. She was treating them as if they were high volume sales. Get everything done in one shot and get rid of them. With high end sales, you want to build a relationship and bring them back. Make it easier for them. Give them a better experience. Treat them better. This way they can get in. Yeah, maybe they're paying a little more, but they know for sure the color is going to be exactly what they want. The problem with keeping them in the fold for so long, it might not come out right. You know, one section might come out right, but the other section is not. So it's about creating quality instead of volume. The difference is how much you get paid. Go ahead.
What was that book? There's some book we read recently where the guy said he went in to get a haircut, and the first time they did everything, the hot towel and all sorts of wonderful experiences, but then the second time it wasn't consistent. I can't remember if that's
what
Gardner, maybe, I don't know.
No,
it's the exact same example.
Yeah, it was one of their stories on how.
Go Giver. Was it
Go Giver?
Yeah.
Was it the hotel? The hotel that never forgot his. They always took care of him. Yes. Yeah. Because they overgave, but it was a high-end hotel, and he overpaid every time.
Yeah.
But he felt good about it because of the quality of the service. Here's the problem with most entrepreneurs: you're giving high-quality service on a low volume, on a high volume product, right? You're not, if you're selling a high volume product and you're treating them, you're giving them the warm towels, you're giving them the back massage, you're bringing them through the whole process. A lot of real estate agents do this. You're not getting paid because you're not working enough clients. You're only working 1 or 2 clients at a time, treating that business as if it's high quality. Whereas if you're selling single family homes to people, that's not a high quality, high ticket item. That's volume, because you have to sell. Well, I mean, okay, when you compare it to the rest of the world, it is high ticket, but you have to be working with enough people to justify your costs, right? If you're not selling 20 houses a year, you're probably making in that. If you're only selling 5-10 of those, you're making between $15,000 to $30,000 a year, which is not enough. If you're in high volume sales, you need to be, well, if you're in real estate, you need to be selling close to 20 units a year. 20 units to get you $100,000. 25 units to get you $100,000 in the South Coast, a $250,000 house, which is the average house. Even here in Massachusetts, our average house is closer to 300,000, but that's because Boston's way outpricing us. Everything else on the outskirts, the majority of the homes are much lower. And so, yes, real estate is a high ticket item. We're selling and you're profiting $4,000 or $5,000 a transaction, sometimes $9,000, $10,000 a transaction, but you're not treating it like high ticket sales, right? You're going through as if the clients didn't matter. You're going through and not building the deep relationships, but you also, nobody has just one relationship in high ticket sales. We've got many. We've got 20, we've got 30, and we're looking for a client who buys over and over again, not a client who's a one and done. A client who's one and done, you're going to keep working really hard. Whereas a real estate investor is a client that comes back over and over. That's how high ticket sales is treated. It's not, you build a quick relationship with them, you go and sell them a house, then you're done with them. High ticket sales is deep, long-term relationships, but a lot of real estate agents don't treat it that way. I don't want to rant on my own business. I want to go back to all businesses, because many of you are not just real estate investors. You own a business right now. And your business is my focus right now, because that's what you need to be pushing. Because I do believe real estate is at a point where I can't ethically tell you to go hunt and buy it. Now, I can ethically tell you to be always watching, hunting, building marketing campaigns, looking, searching for property, but I can't with an honest conscience say go buy on MLS right now. I can't tell you to go buy on market. I can tell you off market, there are still deals. I'm buying off market left and right. But I have to be very honest with you that real estate's not as easy to buy as it used to be. It's going to take you longer. You're going to put more effort in. Where are my mentorship members? Put your hands up, put your hands to the camera. You guys understand it's not easy just to go pick up a house anymore. You're working a lot harder to find a good deal. And I refuse to let you not buy a good deal. You have to. In order for it to make sense, it has to be a good deal, because there are some things coming, right? There are some tough times coming. And we see right now the government putting in a lot of money to pad it, to soften it, to protect us. But at the end of the day, there's no getting around that many of these jobs are not coming back. And there's going to be some turmoil in the real estate market. There's going to be some turmoil in people's lives. And so I want to spend more time focusing on your business and investing in your business so you can build up that cash flow so that you can have money in reserves for when the market does turn. I don't think our turn on the real estate side is anywhere near us. We're talking maybe 21, maybe 2022, because there's still a large ripple effect. Ken McElroy just put out a video this week that gives a really good example of what we're talking about. There's a ripple effect before it actually hits us. There's this lag in between, and we're in that lag section. So in this lag section, what can we do? You can focus on your business. You can increase your income. You can do something that makes more sense. You can get more clear about the product you're selling right now. So do me a favor, pull out a pen and paper and write down the product you sell. Write down the product you sell. What is it that you sell? And if you're not clear about it, think about your last paycheck. Who wrote that check? Who wrote that check? And what did you sell them? It may not be what you think it is. If you work for somebody, the product that you sold was not your product. If somebody wrote you a check, your product is selling them something. Does that make sense? You're selling them your time. Think back to what your last check came from, or what your most common checks come from. Write that down. And then write down the activity that actually led you to that check. If you're hourly, I assure you it wasn't doing your job, it was clocking in. What kept you able to clock in is how well you did your job, or how, furthermore, not how well you did your job, how great your boss feels about you doing their job. How great your manager, your boss, or the company owner feels about you being written that check. Because doing your job is not necessarily what pays you. Adding value to the marketplace is what pays you. And if the manager, the boss, the owner somehow made more money from an activity you did that was unrelated to your job, you've earned them more money. And so they're paying you better. Does that make sense? If you can add value to the company outside of your job, you're going to get paid more eventually. And if you're not, then you've outgrown the job and it's time to go find somebody who will pay you more. You are your business. You're your greatest business. So write down the last check, write down what it was from, what the actual transaction was, what the actual transaction brought you money in, and then write down in this chat, you can write it down, is this high volume or is this high ticket? I want to have a small conversation before we really get deep into how to fix this and do this right. So what do we have? Where's my chat? Open this over here. We've got foreclosure. So Mario, interesting. Foreclosure is where you made a purchase, but it was not a sale. The check has not been written yet. But I do agree
for me
that
it is.
In real estate, you make your money on the purchase. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Oh, I like that. Mario, you're right. A foreclosure was how you made your money. Very good. Closings, high volume. Yes, Mike, that's true. Sharon, ID protection, legal protection, interpreter experience. So Sharon, is that high volume or is that high ticket? Selling real estate investment opportunities for people. Dorina, is that high volume or high ticket? Roger, rental income, high volume. Roger, believe it or not, that is high ticket. and we'll talk about that. Real estate, rent checks, high ticket, high volume. Yes, it is a combination depending on how you operate. High ticket, yes. Starting, let me see, where are you, Sam? Currently, you teach ESL online and walk dogs. High ticket, probably high volume, unless like you're charging a lot for walking those dogs. Does that make sense? Roger Andrews. So that's a business, walking dogs, Sam. And so everybody can be clear, it doesn't pass the $1 million test. So you can't walk enough dogs to make $1 million. Now, feasibly, is it possible if you owned a company large enough and you marketed hard enough and you expanded big enough, could you make $1 million? Yes, but now it's high volume. You're talking massive high volume sales.
Especially when you're dealing with like walking dog type thing, you're going to have to diversify and provide other services too. And so you're actually looking at building a company around an idea that sprouts into many ideas to capture that money.
Yeah, it's more than just walking dogs. So it is possible, and you could corner the market if you were the only, if you were ambitious enough to decide to do it. Well, don't worry, Sam. We're going to make it more clear. I got you. MRIs, and I'm selling my time and clear mind for my manager that patient is safe value. Yes, it's high ticket for the hospital, high volume for you because you're just selling those hours after hours after hours after hours. And you just keep selling your hours. Unfortunately, you're running out of those. You run out after a certain amount and you can't sell anymore. And so finding a way to switch over to be more high ticket will actually help you out. So right now, everybody has experienced high volume sales. You've been to McDonald's, it's high volume, yes? Excellent. Has anybody been to a restaurant? There's a plate that I get in Tel Aviv every Wednesday night. They have a cigar dinner, and it starts at $50. Boom, $50 plate. That's the beginning, and then from there, the drinks and the cigars add up to. I've never left a Wednesday without spending $100 on me, one person, and that's high. Yeah, I know. I just my expenses, so I can vouch that all of that's real. That's high volume, high ticket. Does that make sense? I'm still putting food in my system, but the difference is how much I'm paying. So, Emily, real estate should be high ticket. It should be treated high ticket. It should be treated as such and run as such. If you're treating real estate high volume, you're not giving your customers enough quality service, and you're probably not closing as many deals. If you go out there and you just, hey, I'm a real estate agent, try to tell everybody, nobody's interested. When you go and have a deep relationship with somebody and you find out what they're looking for, and then you go sell them the product they want, that's high ticket. Does that make sense?
So that's an interesting thing that I'm thinking about, especially for watching your training yesterday while we were there. What you were doing is really high volume to connect with people, but it transfers over from high volume to connect into high ticket to develop the relationship.
Correct. And so all right, Terry, jump right to the point here. So we in this business, we start, in order to get to high, who here knows that high volume sales is for the wealthy, well-established, or it's going to make you broke?
Yep.
High volume sales is very hard to get in. It's like when people get bought by Amazon, when Walmart decides they want to sell your product, it terrifies small companies because they can't produce on that level. They're now leveraging themselves way beyond. They're going to distributors way beyond their quality control. They're taking out massive loans based on the belief that Walmart will do this. Walmart has signed contracts that say they will guarantee that they'll buy this product for the next 5 years, because companies have to take that to the bank to get financed. It's a terrifying experience to have to go high volume. Companies that have done very well in high ticket or relatively high volume. When a big company goes and says, yeah, we're ready to go, it's a terrifying situation. Does that make sense? So high volume is hard to get into because it takes a lot of asset, a lot of capital improvement to get there. Whereas high ticket just takes energy and time. But so I want everybody's buy-in. You want to get into high ticket sales. We agree? Yes? Sell a better product, be a better person. It's okay. It's worth it. And I promise it's actually easier. It's actually easier to sell a better product than it is to sell a lot of a shitty product or a lot of a small ticket product. And what Terry alluded to is in order to do that, you do start with high volume marketing, but it's marketing with intention. It's marketing with an open ear. It's marketing with the conversation in mind to identify where am I going to move this person to. Some of the people, so yesterday, who was on the call yesterday with the wholesale mastermind, got to watch me make cold calls across my city. Yes, that was fun. Everybody enjoyed that? That was a good experience? Excellent. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I'll jump on and I'll do it again with you guys.
That was awesome.
So what I did was a list of 4,000 phone numbers. And I started going through the list. And by the end of the night, I called over 240 people. And I talked to almost 50, and I dropped voicemails of another 50. And so contacted 100 people, actual contacts, but I've also left 140 different 140 phone numbers on people's phones. So now their cell phone shows that a call was missed. They'll probably call me back later. So there's a lot of opportunity that was created. A lot of different people. When I was talking to them, there's a lot of people who are not my client. Obviously not my client. Everybody recognize that? Out of the 240 people I called, I wrote down 6 names and numbers. 6 out of 240. And only one of them is my high ticket client. So yesterday, and I'm going to give you an idea of who I talked to yesterday. I talked to a woman who was looking to possibly sell her house one day, 10, 15 years from now. She's probably not going to sell her house. Just going to be a relationship for the long term. So my father's going to go meet her. I met another gentleman who said his wife passed away recently. He has 2 houses. He wants to sell one. He was thinking about it. And when I said, hey, can I come out there and take a look? He said, yeah, just call me Tuesday or Monday. Let me know what works for you, and we'll schedule a day. So you may think that's the one. That's not the one. I sent my father. I may buy that building. I may buy it at a great discount. I may list it. I may get paid for it, but that's not my client. Another person picked up the phone. She was driving. She is interested in selling. She wants to at least get my offer. And her husband wasn't there, so she wants me to call back with her husband. I sent that lead to my father. These 3 leads I sent to my father, right? That's not my client. The last one was a real estate investor. He said he's looking to buy more property. He owns a couple of houses in the city already. He's looking to buy more. And he then asked me, hey, can you send me some hard money lenders? I was like, sure, dude, absolutely. I kept that one. I serviced that client. Does that make sense? That's somebody I can continue to have a relationship with over the long term and pull more value to him over time, as opposed to just the one transaction. Those other people are a one-time transaction. Whereas, Ron, can we shut anybody who's making noise off? Hit the mute on them. Thank you, sir. And so, what is the difference? How did I identify, well, this person's looking to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? He's a real estate investor. And the way the conversation started is I was like, hey, man, I'd like to buy your house. And he was like, nah, dude, I just bought it. I'm keeping it. And it was, Ryan, I'm shutting you off, brother. Getting the mute there. So the question was, well, would you sell to me? And he said, no. And then my question in return was, well, why not? I'm a nice guy. I like to buy houses for my tenants. Well, as I do, no, I do what you do. I'm a buyer. You're a buyer. That means you're going to buy, which means I want to work with you to buy over and over and build your portfolio and keep getting a paycheck every time you close, keep getting a referral from my lenders every time you lend, keep getting a referral from my contractors every time you do something in a building. Like that's hey, maybe you'll join one of my programs. I'll bring you in a mentorship, help you buy even more properties. You want to get to 50 units? Let's go. And that's a client I can continuously serve in multiple different ways. That's high ticket volume. That's high volume. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep confusing these. That's high ticket sales. That's a sale from one client that makes more than all the money off of the other clients. Does that make sense?
Right. One of the things I think about what you're saying is what you actually did is create a high ticket relationship.
Right.
that moves into the future and how you guys can work together. And I really liked the modeling that was, no matter who you are, when you're in sales, you got to talk to other people. And we got that voice in our head telling us all of these different things that are going to happen that are negative. And what Walter did yesterday was really show everybody on the call, quit taking your own bad advice, quit having that voice in your head, and look, you can get partnerships out of it. You can get deals out of it. You can get people off your list that you know you're not going to call again. And so you get more efficient, more effective with every call you make.
Yeah, that was the lesson. Who here got that yesterday? Who saw that yesterday? Saw how we burned through the list, and it's like, oh, cool. Like, I don't care about the first 5 times I'm through that list. That first 5 times is me filtering the list. It's just running it through anybody make coffee before? We get the coffee beans, and you get the filter, and you get the water underneath, and it comes out differently because the filter's catching all the garbage, the stuff you don't want in your coffee. That first 5 times through is your filter. When we go and we take the list of addresses, I know that the properties are what I want to own, but then I've got to send it out and grab all these phone numbers. The phone numbers could be anybody. It could be cousins, could be friends, could be old cell phone numbers. I don't care about the quality of the list. I just want to go through and filter it down, and then hunt for those people again. If for whatever reason I didn't get somebody's phone number on that list, I want their number. I want to contact. I want to find a way to get in touch with them. If for some reason I can't get their number, I'm mailing them. Now I'll go and I'll door knock them. If I, for some reason, can't get in touch with them. That's high quality. That's how you go to the next level. It starts with volume, but you tighten your list and it gets tighter and better and stronger as you move towards the actual goal, which was acquisitions. And Mario alluded to it, which is we make our money on the purchase of the property. We make our money on discounted property. I made $1.6 million last year and paid no taxes because I bought a $3 million portfolio for $1 million. Does that make sense? The math is rough, right? I bought a $2.4 million portfolio for under $900,000. And that's how you build wealth. It's about the acquisition. This is as high ticket as you get. We're talking 1.6 from a couple of conversations. And that's the business I want to see you in. I want to see you in acquisitions of wealth, not just increasing your tax returns. Right? This year, my goal is to be under $50,000 because I was not under $50,000 last year. And last year, I paid a great amount of taxes back to Uncle Sam. You're all welcome. You know, the roads and the streets and the programs are better. And I do think that taxes are a form of charity for me, and I do my part. But this year, every single one of you got $1,200 in your check in your mailbox. I did not, because I made the mistake of claiming too much. I took too much out of the system. I was greedy, and so this year, I am working very hard to make sure that I reinvest all of my cash back into the business. I'll be spending marketing on a level you've never seen me spend marketing on, and I'll be making more cash, but I'll pummel it right back into marketing, and we'll buy more real estate. And we'll continue to create more expenses that are valuable expenses, building a company that's worth having, that's worth more. Right? Ryan, we were talking about the value of your company. The more clients, the more systems, the more this company can run without you, the better the value of that company is. And if you want to become a millionaire, I wrote this down. So Doreena's been reading The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Who's read that book now? I know everybody in my mentorship program should be pretty much through it. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Page 100, this is something Mike Schein, I want to start doing. Page 100, because we're building 100 millionaires. That's the whole mission. Page 100 says, if you want to touch a millionaire, become one. So that every day you wake up, you can touch yourself and be, hey, millionaire right here. I was once at an event. You have a millionaire mind. I was once at an event and I spoke, and a woman came up. She asked me for permission to shake my hand. Asked me for permission. And I said, yeah, we can give you a hug. Come on over here. And it was weird because she said, I've never touched a millionaire before.
Wow.
And he talks about it in that book. He says a very similar situation. And it reminds me back when we were at an event in Taunton where this exact situation happened to me. And I remember thinking, whoa, yeah, that's right. It's happened, right? I'm a multimillionaire. I own a $4 million company, right? There's, whoa, Rob Booling. We did it, bro. Hey, I was listening to the book Vivid Vision that Mike Schein gave me and had me suggest read it. And it talks about making your vivid vision for your company, and what he talks about is 3-year goals, setting 3-year goals for your company. Are you gonna move your company to high ticket sales, and how are you gonna do it, and not how. Fuck the how, forget the how. The fact that it's going there. What do you want? How you'll get there will show up later. And Ron and I have always played with doubling our net worth. It's always been how we double the portfolio, double our net worth. And so the double would be $8 million, but we're aiming for 12. We're aiming for the 12 because hitting the 12 would just be fun. It's just, hey, can we do it? Is it possible? What would that look like? What would that create for us, for our lives? And we know it's possible because we've done it before. Go ahead.
Why did we come up with 12?
So the 12 was based on Ron's dream of being able to create $500,000 a year passive income for his family. And so for me, in order to do that, I have to aim for $1 million because I'm the visionary and I'm the reason we do what we do. Without me moving all the front pieces, the back end doesn't produce as much. And so as I was forcing through, I had to focus on the full goal, which is $500,000 for him, $500,000 for me, which ends up being, and you guys, I know the finance guys are already doing the math. If you're getting 12% on $12 million, you're getting $100,000 a month. Is that correct? Did I do that right? Yes. So that's where that came from. We know we get a 12% return on investment. We use our REITs and our dividend yields. We put our money out in the streets. We lend at 12, 14%, 2 points. So we know how to get a 12% return. And so we looked at what would $12 million do? 100% passive. What's 100% passive? We seller finance all of our properties. Maybe it's to you guys. I've always said I'm not training my competition. I'm training my replacements. So maybe I'll seller finance to some of our students in the future and just get a 12% return on investment for a couple of years until you guys can refinance into something else. And that concept is how we decided, let's go after it. And this was a 5-year goal. We pushed it out and said, well, let's just pretend. What can we do in 5 years? And the more we've thought about it, the more my head says I could do that in a year. I know I could. The more I've thought about it, the more I see the steps, where it is, who I have to track, what we're doing, the more I realize it's super attainable just by building 100 millionaires. Surround ourselves on this mission of helping a bunch of other people get rich, and we'll accidentally fumble across it. So Ron is a perfect example of a millionaire I've built. So we've both built each other, right? We've worked hard together to build the millionaire status for both of us by partnering, right? He and I are 50-50 on everything we do. Stephanie is building salons. She's another millionaire. The goal for us is a $3 million company so that she and I can sell it. Well, I, and Ron can sell it in 2 or 3 years and earn $1 million each. Does that make sense? So the strategy that I'm suggesting each and every one of you start looking at is your business. How can I today work on something that 3 years from now I could sell for more than $1 million? What can I do in today's world to build myself a business based on high ticket sales, not high volume, high ticket sales, build with deeper relationships that somebody would pay for 2 to 3 years from now? Because that, again, is high ticket sales. There are people who broker businesses, people who connect other people with businesses. Ron and I are looking to build a business that we could sell to attorneys, right? And Mike Schein is one of our business partners in that, how to build a brokerage that we could sell to other attorneys and say, hey, here's a team. We already built it. You pay us, this is what they make. We bring in $250,000 a year. You pay us $1 million for this, and we'll finance it. We'll finance it. For Mike Schein, we're going to finance that purchase?
Sure.
Of course. 12%. 14, right?
Yeah.
And
14% if it's a second.
And that's something we can put into anywhere in the country. Being able to build businesses for people and give them a product that they can now move, that's high ticket sales. We're getting this?
Yeah.
The only reason we can do it is because we've done it before. You've got to start with yours right now. Start with what you're selling, get clear about it, and then treat it as it's high ticket if it's high ticket. If you're selling for somebody else, you probably are high volume. But if you're selling for yourself, Make sure you're getting paid enough to do the customer service enough to actually close a transaction. Make sure you've got enough people in the funnel. Make sure you're talking to enough people. Yesterday, I decided to attack my city. I grabbed 4,000 numbers to start with. My goal is to get down to 4. My goal is to get all the way down to 4 or 5 numbers. I want to get down to 4 or 5 powerful contacts that I can just serve. But I started with 4,000 because I know the numbers. I know it's going to take a little while. Does that make sense? So it's okay to start out marketing to the masses, looking for a couple of asses. Does that make sense? So Ryan, when you're marketing to everybody. You're going out there. We're talking about financial advising, right? You're marketing to everybody, looking for the business. And in the end, what you're looking to do is find a couple of people with $10 million in their accounts that want to shift over you, right?
100%.
How many do you need? How many of those would change your year? 1, 2,
10.
10?
10.
10. And so it's a lot easier to hunt for those guys and spend more time looking for them than it is to try to pick up $20,000 accounts from everybody, right? But in the past, you've run the $20,000, $50,000 account business, haven't you?
Of course I have.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yep.
But the multimillionaire business, I bet you it's a lot easier to get. I bet you the conversations are a lot more fun. I bet you feel more excited about working for them, and it's going to pull you to be a better person. Does that make sense? I love serving millionaires. I love building millionaires. People who want to become millionaires are the coolest people on the planet, right? You guys are hustlers. You guys are aggressive. You're out there taking action steps. I have worked with people who just want to make $100,000. I've worked with people who just want to make $30,000. I wrote this book thinking that was my client base, right? I wrote this book, broke to $250,000. I made it cheap so you could buy it. I did the Audible so you could get the knowledge quickly. And I even put broke in there so I could relate to the broke mindset. And you know what I attracted? Any guesses? A bunch of broke people. Damn it! High volume sales. And so we use it as a filter. We use that book as a filter. If they can get through the full book, now I know that they're qualified, right? So if they haven't read the book, they say, oh, I saw your book, I'm going to read it. I'm like, okay, do that first. They're like, hey, can I get on a call with you? Read the book. Let's read the book. And then we can have the conversation. So the book is a filter. Does that make sense? Excellent. So I'm going to share a screen. We created something new. A lot of you already know it. So my mentorship members have already seen this page. And most of you, friends of mine, have already been here. No, I want to continue sharing. Resume share. So this is walteramarillo.com. When you scroll through, there's a lot of great information. I just wrote another blog last night. This is for you guys to use. Why holding a mortgage in long-term is a great investment. This is for my real estate investors looking to raise private capital. Put your hands up if you're looking to raise some private capital right now. You'd like a little more in your pocket. Great. So this article was written towards the person who might lend out money, private capital. So it talks about why it makes sense. You're in complete control of your monthly income, larger pools of buyers, so you can sell your house easier, higher profit on the sale, so you can actually charge more for the sale, and the rights to property in case non-payment, so you could potentially get the property back. So that's a value add. This is free, costs nothing, right? It's open funnel for people to come through the blog. The university, which if you haven't logged into the university, go into Alchemist University. We do have some free stuff out there still. But what we've done is we've created a higher ticket item in it. And Ron, it's not in here, is it? No, the actual product is not in here because I can log in. You'd have to create new sign up. Here it is.
Are you talking about the mentorship?
What is it?
Talking about the mentorship or the Alchemist University?
Alchemist University. Why can't I go and create a new, what's the new to us section supposed to do?
It lets you create an account.
Well, when I click it, it brings me right in.
That's because you're already logged in. You have to log out.
Excellent. Well, okay. So there is no place in here that says what this is actually costing. So let me take you guys to the other funnel that we're working on, since this one's not doing what I want it to do. SF1. So there should be in that funnel a place where it shows this number here. See, $1,297. So that's the new price for all of Alchemist University, and this sells everything that's in Alchemist University. I understand that this is starting from a free funnel, free. So anybody looking to build funnels, this is how we do it. Pay attention. The products are in here. Their value add. This is what it costs. Only for a limited time are we selling it at this price. Remember we were talking about split testing, my mentorship members, earlier in the call? We were talking about split testing. Doesn't make sense to sell a higher ticket item in a high volume manner. And so we're testing that to get the initial click. Ryan McDermott's the one who mentioned this earlier. To get that initial click, is it worth giving away our big product to get that? In the beginning, no. In the beginning, it's not, because you don't have another back-end product. But as you build your business and you have more products, you can go high volume with a product that used to be your high ticket product. You can go high volume with it, and then it makes more sense. So we used to use the book as our loss leader. Now we're using Alchemist University as our loss leader, even though you get an Alchemist University and you could pretty much do it without any of our other products, because it gets the click and it gets the purchase, and it's so high value that it inspires people to click. They have to. And so what we've created now on the back end are other products. We have the mentorship, we have the mastermind, we have the Alchemist retreat, we have the 3-day event, we have Paul Fink's 3-day Maverick Millionaire event. So we have all these other high ticket items that now it makes sense to have a loss leader. It makes sense to go out and create a high volume item just to filter them out. But it's no longer a $14 book. We've gone to now a $50 product. And we will split test this with a $297 product. Sometimes people click more on a higher ticket product. And even if they didn't click more often, if the click gets us to more sales, so if it costs me $100 to get a $300 click, worth it every time. If it costs me $40 to get a $50 click, I'd rather get the $300 click. Does that make sense? So we'll split test. That's the other 4 split tests we were talking about doing later on. This is just a way for you to filter out people. These websites are just it's an initial lead gen. You got to spend money to get money when you're marketing online. Or you can create a ton of energy, a ton of attention. Who's been on my website before, waltermerlo.com, just because I said, hey, go check it out? So there's some things you can do with free advertisement, but the level that you can get from going out there and just spending the dollars, exponential. It's ridiculous what you can make off of this. And I recorded a video the other day, COVID-19 style outdoors. University was built for one reason. We're building 100 millionaires, and we had sharing the vision. Creation of one place to help you get to the next level. Real estate investing has built more millionaires than any other industry. True. And we know it's time for you to become a millionaire. Step up, get out of your comfort zone, start taking action, learning the skills that you need to get your business to the next level. Whether you're not in real estate yet, this is a decision you have to make. It's 100% personal, but if you do it, we will provide all of the content necessary. We're doing it from Alchemist University, building our millionaires. 100 millionaires who have now a mission to go build another 100 millionaires each. I hope you'll take action on yourself and help us further our mission. Click the link below, sign up, register today, get access to all of Alchemist University. Hell yeah, I love that guy. Give that guy a round of applause.
Hey, Walter, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So this $49.99 offer, and then you talked about the $297 offer and how you're going to test it.
Yes.
Are you testing it to see which offer liquidates the cost of that lead, or the cost of that lead better? That's what you're testing?
Yes. So we're going to test to find the sweet spot to pass to get a better return on investment. What the mind clicks on and who we're attracting. So the higher I can push this price point, the better quality client I'm getting, right? The more somebody's willing to invest in themselves, the more likely they're willing to do what it takes to be a millionaire, right? Because becoming a millionaire is about taking your money and rolling it back into something else. It's not about, how hard can you work, right? That's a bullshit game. Like, you can get to $250,000 that way, but you can't get past that. And so it's two pieces, Ryan. And everything we do is multiple pieces. As millionaires, everything you do becomes multiple pieces. Everything does multiple. So yes, it's what's the better return on investment? Because if we find that the $50 one gets a better return, maybe we're spending $8 to get the 50, we'll run the hell out of that. But if I find that the 300 is still a good return on investment, and maybe it costs me 150 to get there, I'm still getting a 50% return, I guarantee you that client, that person I bring through that relationship is going to move further, faster through the funnel though. So because they're willing to spend a little bit more upfront on themselves, they have that faith in themselves, they've accumulated that wealth where the $300 click is nothing.
Got it.
So we'll run both funnels, but we'll treat them very differently.
Right.
Okay.
One of the things that I think about with that system, and it's really ingenious because there's some people that are going to balk at 297, but they want it for 49, and then they start getting trained into the thinking that then they go into the 297, and so we're actually starting to develop those people at that lesser mindset.
Lower price point. Yep.
Yeah, the lesser mindset, but also the more insecure about where they're at right now. I'm trying to find a word that doesn't put people down, but the reality is people are very insecure when they start, and so they just start seeing something. 297, oh wow, that's scary. 49, not scary. Then we can move them and train them into that 297, into that $250,000, into that millionaire mindset.
Right.
Called moving the free line.
Moving the free line. You got it, Doug. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Ryan. So, great questions. We're going to get into questions in just a little bit. Before I do that, it's my favorite part of the day. I get to sell a product I believe in. Is everybody okay with that? If I take about 2 minutes to sell something that I believe in? Yes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. The mentorship program, where are my mentors? Where are you guys at? Hands up. You guys are making great moves. Every single one of you is moving forward in a manner that me and Ron are so impressed with, not just ourselves, but with you. You spent $1,000 to get into the program, and so after this conversation, you understand that you've already qualified yourselves to us. You've showed us that you're willing to invest in yourselves, and we're seeing that. This is the first time we've charged for mentorship. It's the first time we've actually created a program where we decided, you know what, we're committed to building 100 millionaires. The only way to do that is a program, is a consistent manner. We've been building our own wealth for a long time. This opportunity that we're offering won't be me for long. As soon as I identify the right coaches, I won't be doing this training. But for the first 100 millionaires, for the first people to hit 100, I'll continue doing this. I'll do this until I find those people, and then those people will be running these programs. They'll be running their own mentorship programs. Does that make sense? The more vision I put out there, the more fun we're having. The people in my mentorship program get me every single week at 8 o'clock on Monday. They're committed to the 1 hour, sometimes 2.5 hours. Sometimes it goes a little longer, but we're getting value, and everybody stays on the call, and we're committed to each other's success. And I do, and you do, work very hard to get those calls concise and together, but sometimes it's what we need. It's what the team needs. And so we're all committed to each other and our success. And every single week we get together. We all read a book a week. We all read the Foundational 5 plus my book. This way we're having a great conversation. We all watch 1 hour of training video. It's a video that I've put out about mindset, 100% mindset. We're going through 8 of these throughout the 8 weeks. It's intensive. I'm not going to lie to you. It's intense. The guys and gals in this, you guys having a hard time keeping up some weeks? You find that some things we fall behind on, and it's grueling. Fun, I give grace, but at the same time, I expect you to hold yourselves accountable and do the things that you say you'll do and commit to that. We do a net worth tracking sheet because becoming a millionaire is about your net worth, not your income. It's about your net worth and what you can get that to, because with a high enough net worth, you can have a high enough income to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. When polled, everybody who's in the mentorship program said that's what they want. They want freedom. They want the ability to do whatever they want, with whoever they want, whenever they want. If that's you, put your hands up. Does that make sense? That's something you're interested in? Yes. Me too. It's why I started. It's why Ron started. And we're passing that on. Being a millionaire gives you that option. Being in our 100 millionaires gives you the option to give it to other people. Does that make sense? It's a powerful mission. It's not something to take lightly. Joining our group means we're all going to push you. It means we're going to push you to be better. It means the relationships are going deep. They're long-term relationships. We're building businesses together. Is that something you'd be interested in? If it is, put your hand up. It costs money. I refuse to give a discount on this because I refuse to bring in a lower quality client. I want to make sure that the people we're working with are willing to invest in themselves. And so we have it at $1,000, and I will not go lower. As this gets better, I will increase the price because I believe that's what's best for the group. And I believe that as we improve ourselves and the mentorship members get better and better, we need to be bringing in a better quality person. It's what I owe to the group. Does that make sense? And so we will increase the price over time like we have with all of our other products in the past. In the past, we start with free things, and then we move to priced things, and then we up the price until we get the exact quality of person that we're looking for, and we continue to up the price until we get a higher quality person next. Does that make sense? We do this not out of scarcity. We do it because we just want to find the best. Focus on the best, surround yourself with the best, and you will become the best. It's guaranteed. It's the law of success. It's how it works. And so this mentorship program, Ron, if you could put the link, oh, you've already done it. You are the man. Oh, no, put the link to the mentorship program, gualtermurillo.com/mentor. If you're interested in learning more about the mentorship, we do an assessment, a personality assessment. We use DISC to build your business based on you. Build your business and your real estate investments. We talk about both in our conversations. How to tie them together to increase the amount of money you're bringing in while decreasing the amount of time you're putting in. Building a business worth selling and buying real estate worth owning. Building a lifestyle so that you can have a life that you don't want to take vacations from. I said that yesterday. I was sitting with Dorena and I said, you know, Dorena, what we're building is a life worth living. It's a life where you don't have to ever take a vacation from it because every day feels like a vacation. Every day I'm hanging out with my best friends. Every day we're building businesses together. The conversations I have around the fire pit are, hey, did you call that attorney up? Hey, have you talked to Mike? Have you talked to Ryan McDermott? Ryan's building the team right now. Ryan McGovern's buying property in Pawtucket. What marketing campaign's going on out there right now? Dorena's buying in Worcester. I just connected Dorena last night with a gentleman who was on our call and said, hey, you got a bunch of leads that you're not using? Dorena's going to go in your apartments for you. You went to these people's houses and they said no? Dude, you're my new best friend. Let me connect you with another one of my best friends. Let's get all this going. Terry Wager, I love having my coaches on here. Doug, where you at, Doug? Doug the hypnotist, right? Mitchell Jarsky, coaches. These are people, Mike Schein, and potentially Ryan McDermott working on it. Work in progress. I'm trying to convince him he can do it. And I'm pretty sure Chris Hayward's going to be on the mission. Ryan will be on the mission. Stephanie, Dorena, you guys will be there. Tripp, I'm going to bring you in. And right now, my coaches are some of my best friends. Dude, we jump on calls outside of these calls, just having fun. We text each other throughout the week, just having a blast. How can we help people? How can we add more value to these programs? I want more millionaires around because millionaires have the best conversations. Right? We're always helping people. Like, yo, Terry, we're going to Vegas in June or July, right? Like, that's where we're hanging out together. That's the next time we're going to see each other.
On the calendar.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're supposed to be in Orlando last month, but
as soon as we can get there, we're going.
I know.
Doug's invited too.
Yeah.
Dougie's fresh.
Dougie, I know Doug will be there. I'm going to bring Dorena there. Ron's already gone to Vegas with me once. Mike's gone to Vegas with me. Mario's been in Vegas with me. So we hang out.
You brought Ron to New Jersey.
Oh, I brought him to New Jersey. That's what I did. You're right. You're right.
Let's go to New Jersey. This was super fun.
That was Jersey City, though. That was fun. That was a blast. And that's.
You were talking about me. I was New Jersey.
Well, Las Vegas and Jersey are very similar.
I was Jersey.
Mike, were you Jersey too?
Yeah, on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Yes. All right. So with Stephanie, we went to Las Vegas.
I want to jump off that building with you. That's what I want.
That was fun. Mike, come to Vegas with us. We'll do it again.
Mike, that's in Jersey.
No, that was Vegas. That was
Vegas.
I'm joking.
Jersey, everybody wants to jump off a building.
So the mentorship program is available now. It is available still for $1,000. It lasts for 8 weeks. It's starting now. It starts every single week. We bring you in. Some of our mentors, mentorship members are moving out and shifting into other programs. I want to bring them into the mastermind. The mastermind is something more expensive, and it lasts all year long. We used to meet every 2 months. And for mastermind members, put your hands up. You guys are already in it. We're going to start meeting every month. We're going to increase that because this is a value add. And we're also going to increase the price on anybody new. For the people who are already in the mastermind program, you're good. You're already in. Don't worry about it. You've paid your piece, and we're going to keep you in it. For the people who are coming into it, we have to raise the price because we've already got a lot of people in the program. And we want to continue serving them. And we want to make sure we're bringing more quality people into the program, people who are willing to commit to themselves. And so we are raising the price. So Mike Schein, I know you love your coaching, you love to pay, but you're good. You're grandfathered in. So we're going to continue, but the price is going up. We're going up to $2,500. So we'll talk about that. That's, again, you don't hear too much about the mastermind here in these free events, these free calls, because that's something for purification purposes. We go through the mentorship program first. It's just how you tier your business to make sure you're getting the highest quality at the end, and you keep refining and purifying. I want you to right now take a second to think about how you can do this in your business. How can you get paid to qualify your clients? Is there a way for you to earn an income to qualify the people who will one day become your business partners? Understand, I'm looking to build more Ron Bowlings. Understand, I'm looking to build millionaires. That's how I did it with Ron. We partnered 50-50. He did all the work, and I turned him into a millionaire.
So wait a sec.
Swear to God, that's how it worked. Mike, go ahead.
Take exception. There's only one Ron Bowling. So you
Trust me.
Ron Bowling.
Ron, in this venture, makes half of everything I make. So everything that I produce in this venture, Ron makes half too.
My dad is actually named Ron as well. So.
Ronnie Billions for a reason. We've called him Ronnie Billions for a long time.
Nice. Oh, I like that. I like that. You
So,
got a tattoo?
What is it, Ron? What is it, Mike?
You got a tattoo that says Ronnie Billions on it across his chest.
It's coming. It's coming. Wait, here's the deal. We make our 100 millionaires. He's putting that tattoo on his chest. Done.
No.
Yeah, come on, Ron. Come on.
He's shaking his head no.
We're doing it, though. We're doing it. We're building 100 millionaires. We're formulating the plan to do that. And this filtering process is powerful. I want you to think about how you can do this in your business. What can you charge for? What can you create in your world, in your environment, where you could add value and be paid for that value to qualify your clients before bringing them through the funnel? For Stephanie, she knows she can take a deposit in her, and this is an example for everybody. Stephanie can take a deposit before booking an appointment. What this eliminates is walk-ins. Walk-ins are bullshit in this business. You know what a walk-in means? It means you got to stay there, wait for somebody to walk in. Whereas an appointment, a booked appointment means you know exactly when you're showing up to work. And they put a deposit. And that deposit means they're coming in. Does that make sense? So that's one way to do it in the business. In real estate investing, there's a lot of ways that you can have a seller pay for you to come out there and evaluate the property. You can have a seller you can go give advice for a seller, not as an agent, not as an investor, but as a, what's the word where they go and they stage a house for sale, staging, or interior decorator, right? You're an interior decorator, but you're not charging $1,000 to show up at the house. You're charging $50. Let's be real. You're going on the appointment for free anyway, right? You're a real estate agent. You're going on the appointment for free anyway. Might as well tell them you do an interior decorating piece, and I make sure that the house is prepared for sale. And it normally costs $300. Because of COVID, I'm only charging $50. This is making sense? We're using the same tactics I use. Now, can you have on your website that you cost $300, you cost $500? Yes. Would, if somebody clicked, you take their money? Yes, of course. But does it really matter when you go on that appointment for free? No. But you should charge something because it qualifies their investment, their level of investment with you. If they're willing to pay you to make sure their house is ready to be sold, there's a good chance they're thinking about selling their house. Yes? It's an added benefit, added bonus to the program. This is something that you can do in your current business. Ryan McDormand, what can you think of as a way to charge a client outside of financial advising, outside of your current business, where you just say, hey, you know what? I do these checkup from the neck ups. It's just a review of your finances. And I'm not going to sell anything. If you want, sure, I can sell a product, but really I'm just going to review your finances. And for, $100, just fill out this form, I review it for you, give you a quick little phone call. I talk to you, I say, hey, this is what, this and that. And if you like it, then I can give you suggestions, but you're gonna have to ask me for those suggestions. I'm just gonna have a call and tell you where you're at and where I see you going. I'll run you into my calculator and give you a nice projection of your future if you keep on the path you're doing. And guess what, Ryan? You're having them pay you to fill out the application you want them to fill out. You want them to fill out the net worth tracker, right?
Yep.
And so it's the same in our business, right? We want to know the net worth of our clients so we can say, is this person worth working with? And so we have you fill out a net worth tracker, and we charge you $1,000 to do that. Well, here's filled it out and sent it to me. Exactly. And now, and I will never tell anybody what your net worth is because it's not for anybody but me to know. And that's how I'm able to work with you, right? So in your business, I've just done 3 businesses. I did 4. I showed you mine, right? I just did 4 businesses. What's a business I haven't done? So we're gonna end this for now, and then we're gonna go into a different section. But I want to end this recording. waltermorello.com/mentor. If you're looking to sign up and join the mentorship program, we are still looking for people. We're building 100 millionaires, so we're not giving up until we've hit that number. And believe me, once we've hit it, the 100 millionaires are going to be building 100 millionaires. Because that's where we're going. We're changing the planet. We're making it better. We're moving towards a better lifestyle for a lot of people. And you are the beginning of that. Joining this program means you're starting a commitment to not just me, not just to you, but to 100 other people that you may not have met yet. It's a big mission. And if you can't handle it, that's okay. I don't want people who can't handle it. I want people who are committed to their success. That's the difference. That's why charging $1,000 to me is like, of course I charge. I couldn't afford to have somebody who's not committed to this in the group. Does that make sense? With that said, next Saturday is 18, lesson number 18. It's only deliver the highest quality product or services, and from there constantly improve. And we're going to talk about how we do that and how you can do that. Does that sound like a great lesson? Lesson 18? Yeah, we're going to teach you how to get richer. If you're already rich, richer. If you haven't made it, trust me, you're on your way, because we're going to make sure that you get this knowledge, this information. That said, we're going to sign off this recording.